a different way. Just a little bit. I was telling someone earlier, I said, I don't know where to begin. And when she says, in the beginning. Anyway, I just want to share how I came for the Lord. Just a short prayer. My mom had passed away. She was my best friend. And I loved her dearly, and it seemed like even when I wasn't planning on going to visit her, she called, "You coming up?" And that went through all, like, quite a few years, even bringing up my kids. Like, it seemed like I was always there and helping her. And she ended up with cancer. And it went into remission for 10 years. I praise God for that, because she was only 57 then. And 10 years later, it came back with a vengeance. And just took her out. And she was preparing herself to get ready to see the Lord, because she was asking people to forgive her. There was people going to visit her in the hospital that she hadn't seen since they were young women, and she was asking him to forgive her. So I really believe now that was the way of God preparing her heart. And I wasn't a Christian then. Anyway, to say all that, I grieved for 6 long months. People were getting fed up with me. I had a hard time to go visit my dad. There was a certain chair where she'd sit in by the window at the table, and it seemed like she was always there, and that was her place, even when she wasn't eating. But anyway, it's like, and I was trying to track. It's not up here. Okay, and but I went to visit my dad anyway. It was hard because he needed me just as much as anyone else. And at home, it was like when I go visit Dad, I just couldn't get over how people, like the family was, like, because I was always broken, I was broke down, and they said, "Would you get over it? Like, just get over it." And I couldn't believe how they did that, Anyways, and even at my home, it was like, "Would you please stop? Would you please stop?" I do the dishes, I start crying. And or I was doing something, I start crying. This went on for 6 solid months. And I'd hide in the bathroom because I didn't want them to see me cry. Anyway, one day there's a woman come to visit me, someone in my husband's family, a sister. And because I was crying out to God then. I didn't know there was a God, but I just always knew there was a God. I just figured there was a God, And he knew how hurt and broken that I was. So she asked me if I wanted to go to church. There was a prayer. And I don't know how many years that went on that I passed by that little church in Nash Creek. And I'd say, I'm going to go in there someday. I wonder why those couple of cars are in the yard. I realized later they were having prayer times. They see a couple of cars in our yard coming now and then. It's prayer times. Anyway, so I went with her. And there was a colored lady there, beautiful lady. Her name was Soretta. And she just come up to me and she says, would you want to give your heart to the Lord? And I said, yes. And because I knew what that meant. As a child, I went to Sunday school. So I knew what that meant. But I never did say a prayer. So anyway, I did that. And all that to say that the next morning, actually as the week went by, I just had no more hurt and pain from my mom. I wasn't grieving, it just left. And the pastor gets up that morning and my heart is just fluttering inside me and I didn't know why. And he says, is there anyone here that would like to share? Is there anyone here that would like to share? I just feel like there's someone here who would like to share. So I jumped up and I went up and I said, I just want to share that I just realized this morning when you spoke that I'm done grieving my mother. It just lifted. just wanted to share that. So does anyone here that this would minister to? I pray that you cry out to him and you give your heart to him, because he's the only one that can heal a broken heart. Amen.
Amen.